In the human clinical studies, you can see the alveolar bone defect around the implant. So BMP surround the implant, patching up the labial and crestal alveolar bones. And 14 months later, the border at lower labial defect has completely disappeared, indicating good incorporation of this BMP into alveolar bones. So in the histomorphometry, as the new bone formation increased, residual dentin decreased remarkably compared with the DDM itself. So you can see huge alveolar bone defect around the implant that needs augmentation, and so BMP was packed into the lingual wall along the labial wall. And 6 months later, newly formed bone, well-organized bone was found around the implant. The major difference between the DDM and DDM with BMP was also, we can see some matrix resorption in the BMP compared with the dense fibrous encapsulation of the DDM alone. So with this in vitro and in vivo and human clinical review, so active osteoinductive bone formation and the dentin matrix resorption, this observation might be interpreted as a releasing hypothesis. So this is the dentin particle with endogenous growth factors and exogenous growth factors reloaded. So this exogenous growth factor released from the surface and play the role of osteoinductive bone formation, and this BMP activate osteoclastic resorption of the dentin matrix. By this resorption, the endogenous growth factors in the DDM could be released, and this in turn initiate the coupling with osteoblastic bone formation. So as a result, we can say the exogenous BMP have a synergistic effect with endogenous growth factors of DDM based on some observation. So this may account for the dentin matrix as a potential carrier of BMP. So further studies also will be necessary about suitable concentration and particle size and something like that. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Brown. Is there any question from the audience? Very interesting. Thank you very much for a very interesting story. I just have one question. That's you mentioned that you are also testing for concentration dependency on the BMP4. So have you looked at the concentration, like dosage dependent effect on the bone formation, as well as have you ever also tried another growth factor other than BMP4?
Yes, you're right. You point out the exact things. In 2010, FDA in the United States approved 1.5 milligram persisting with the observable collagen sponges in oral and maxillofacial regions, but in vitro and in vivo experimental studies, we found a lot of inflammation. As you know, one of the major complications of exogenous BMP is osteoclastic activation, some resorption of the bone or something like that. Even though the concentration does not hinder the bone formation, but the whole field was filled with inflammation. So they compared 1.5 milligram with 1.75 and 0.75, 0.43. Anyway, they approved 1.5 milligram. So we down the concentration because we proposed the DDM matrix itself has BMP-like growth factors, even if it's very near. Anyway, we down the size, down the BMP concentration. So you see here, the whole concentration we used is 0.2 milligram. So until now, we know that's all. So we have to study further about to determine the suitable concentration. Yeah.
Thank